But good morning. Welcome to Victorious Life Church. And how long have you been in business, Brother Redwood?
So my brother and I have a gourmet wings restaurant called Wings Cafe, and we've been around for 3 years, but I've been in business long before that. So I'd have to say I've been in business for a long time.
Okay. So now, a lot of times when you're in business, people ask, what's the secret to your success? But what I try to help people understand is there's no secret to success. There is a thread of things that successful people do consistently. So what are some of the things that you can share with our audience here as well as our viewing audience on the internet TV of what you have done over the years to be successful?
Yeah, so for me, my business life started when I was 14 years old. So I had a candy business in high school that I really committed to, and I got shut down after 4 months. But that was because we were getting too large. So by the time we got shut down, I had already made $40,000. I was moving away from candy hand-to-hand sales and into distribution, and that was a problem. See, I'm going to tell you that there are just some traits in business, and he made $40,000 selling candy. Now, there are some folks selling some other stuff out there, because the concept of business works whether it's candy or some other stuff. And so if I try to encourage people to take these kind of traits and put them into positive stuff. And so what are some of the adverse things that you have encountered being a successful entrepreneur? Yeah, absolutely. So I guess they're tied to some of the things that I'd advise doing, or at least that I've done that have helped me out. I think there's 3 things. One is living below my means.
Okay.
So whenever you're starting businesses, especially businesses that are going to be worthwhile, you're going to have some hard times. You know, sometimes where you look at you know the prices of ramen noodles. You know, you're like, man, they raised that 2 cents. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, we need to keep these prices low. Some people have to eat. But like living below your means, whether it's if you can afford, you know, a used car instead of a new car, if you can afford a cheaper place, even if it's $200, that $200 matters sometimes.
Right.
And so that's really helped me gain, you know, kind of the ability to make it through some of those hard times. And then the people that are like, oh man, I have all this nice stuff. Well, now I still live below my means, but I could go to them and be like, hey, I feel okay about my decision now.
Right.
Yeah. And so that really helps. I say the other 2 things that I wish people did more that I found have been really helpful is, one is doing the research. So people undervalue research, and a lot of people who want to start businesses, you know, they just hop in. There's so much passion there,
passion and emotion.
So much passion and emotion, which I get it. In the food business, it's a passion business. Like you don't deal with all the personalities in the kitchen and all of the wait staff and all of the customers if you're not passionate about it. And if you're creating a business, you should be passionate about it.
Yeah.
But one of the things I see is people hop into it, you know, just because they're passionate without doing that research.
Yeah.
And that research includes understanding where you're going to go and why. Even if it's a lawnmower business, where are you going to seek out your customers first? And what does that mean about your product? So even if with lawnmowing, I had a lawnmower company too, you have to choose, okay, so if I'm going for these areas, I need this equipment.
Right.
And so I need to save up for that equipment
which means that I need to take a little bit longer before I launch, and I need to build relationships in those areas with those homeowner associations. You know, I need to start getting the buzz out there, start volunteering with some of the groups they care about before I launch, not after I launch, because it's too late already.
Right. Wow.
You know, and so relationships and research is really important. And the last thing is committing to it 150.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I say that to say that a lot of people say, you know, I'll do advising a lot of incubators, a lot of business accelerators, and help a lot of entrepreneurs out. And they're like, man, you know, I've got this business, it's just not working the way I wanted to. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. So what have you done this week? And I say, well, you know, I set up some programs. I went out, passed out a few flyers, and that's pretty much it. I'm like, a few flyers, you know, a few programs. You know, there's a statistic that the average person watches 3 hours of TV a day. Mm-hmm. You know, and so for those people who are wondering why they're not getting that traction or why they're not launching the business they've wanted to launch, you know, you talk to them and you find out that they're up on Empire, which I like the show too, you know, but I had to start watching stuff on Hulu.
Right.
Yeah, they're up on all the TV shows, which is great if you're just living and if you have a job that you love. But if you're really trying to build something new, that's 2 hours, at least 2 hours a day. That means that's 14 hours a week that could have gone to you doing things related to building your business. You know, whether that's doing the research, whether that's, you know, doing extra side projects to save up the money to get that bigger lawnmower, you know, or whether that's, you know, figuring out who you need to network with in the communities and who you need to find as advisors.
That's some great stuff. Let me ask you one last thing. I love wings. Where's your wing store at?
So we're 5 minutes north of downtown, North Kansas City.
Okay.
And we're in about a month or so, 4 weeks, we're getting ready to open a new location in Westport.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming to visit with us here at Victorious Life Church. Give a lot of praise for Brother Eze Redwood.